Hello, welcome to another instructional video from Dustbusters on best practices. This one's all about vacuum cleaner care and proper use. Penny's my assistant, and she's also one of our field managers, so you'll see Penny out and about when she's checking your buildings. And I'm the guy who behind the scenes will fix your broken vacuum cleaner. So we're going to show you a few things to keep them running well, to make sure you have a good experience with your vacuum cleaner, and that we keep down on some of the maintenance and costs associated with repairs. We use primarily two types of vacuum cleaners here at Dustbusters. One is this Pro Team. They come in a 1500 and a 1200 series, basically mean one has a shorter base and one has a wider base. And the NSS Pacer is another one that we typically use. Most of you are probably familiar with the gray, but hey, there's preferences, so we have a couple different types for you. We're going to start off with basics on how to change the bags. Each of these have two different unique types of bags, and they're pretty easy to get to and more accessible. And I'll start off by showing you this Pro Team first. So if you're looking to replace your bag, just disconnect the hose from the little holster here. There's a button right here in the center, push down, and then tilt forward on the lid. And inside you'll see your bag comes right out. And then you replace that with your new bag, which we keep here at the shop, and you might have some of these in your car, on top of the shelf unit that contains your liquids. So basically open up like this, and you can slide it back in. Make sure it seats properly, because it has to seat properly to close and then activate the motor to run. So clip it back down and force it down, and locks into place. You hear a little click. That means your bag has been changed successfully. While we're at it with the gray 1500 Pro Team, just a couple additional items about hose safety and care. As you can see, these come out and provide a nozzle for cleaning around your edges in places you can't reach with the roller brush. But it's easy to break these. They can sometimes break here if they're put in too hard and bent around, or if the vacuum cleaner is laying down in your trunk or something like that. And sometimes there's also a tendency to perhaps overextend these flexible hoses, and they start to crack and break here. So when you're using them, just kind of be careful not to overextend the hose. And when you put the hose back into the holster, which is right back here, just kind of guide it up straight and gently put it back down. And you'll notice in the feature that if you're ever running the vacuum cleaner with the roller and you pull this out, the roller will automatically stop. You can pick up what you need to and just put it right back in the holster, and the brush will reactivate and you can be on your way. So that's bag replacement, coil hose safety, and then the third thing we're going to cover is how to properly put your cord back into the harness and to wrap it up carefully. This is very important. These cords easily tangle, and sometimes if you're not taking care, you could wrap it up too quickly and the cord won't unwind. And then once it starts to bind, it starts to get coils in it, and it's very difficult to make it straight again. And it could lead to a faulty cord, and these are quite expensive to replace, and they will short if they're not properly coiled back correctly. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And I always say when you're winding up a vacuum cleaner cord, you want it to dance a little bit. Means you want to work it while you're bringing it back up to take the twists out as you're coiling it back up. But first, it's important to unplug it before you start coiling. So even if you're clear across a room and there's a temptation to just want to pull the cord from where you are to pull it out of the socket, very bad idea. It leads to shorting in the cord itself, specifically where you plug it in. So the only way you really want to unplug a vacuum cleaner is not to pull on the cord, but to walk up to the outlet, grab it firmly, and pull out from the actual plug itself. You want to grab this part, not this part, when you're pulling. Pull from here. So Penny, you've seen this several times, I'm sure.
Yes.
Where cords can get wrapped
Mangled.
incorrectly, and then they sometimes also get torn and ripped when they get stuck under a door, and you're vacuuming, and you might be in a hurry sometimes. You pull, and it's stuck under a door. It will rip the cord, sometimes causing a short, and certainly sometimes burns away the insulation. Another thing I've seen very often is these getting stuck under cubicle walls. So you're vacuuming around an office, and those cubicles have those metal parts at the bottom, and your cord might get stuck in there, and you may have a temptation to pull it, and you will actually rip and jam your cord in there. So walk up to where the clog is in the line, walk up to where the cord is stuck, bend down, remove it from where it's stuck, and then proceed, because these will get ripped and tangled. So, okay, so when you're wrapping up your cord, give yourself a little bit of room, and then start bringing it through the bottom holster to the top holster. And while you're doing that, just kind of keep it moving. And you'll see it's already starting to tangle right here. See that? That means it's starting to coil, and that means it's got to be stretched out. Penny, would you mind helping me stretch that out?
Absolutely.
So if it's all right in front of you like that, it's most likely going to tangle when you start to put it back in. So stretch your cord out, and that'll allow you to take out the kinks while you're twirling it back in. So just be mindful of that as you're bringing it in. Feel so that it goes naturally, and it'll start to feel, you'll start to feel it unwinding into its proper place, and it'll sit nicely in the carriage. Just be patient. This is actually very important, because over time, the tangles, if they don't come out properly, like that right there, they will start to bind, and then they won't come out. And let it dance. Let it jiggle a little bit.
It's very important for your safety as well, because we've had shorts in the cord, but also if the cord is exposed, the wires inside can lead to you getting electrocuted. So it's really important that we take care of the electrical cord, and making sure that before we do any maintenance on our vacuum cleaner, that we unplug it from the wall so we don't get electrocuted or injured in any way.
That's a great point. And while you're at it also too, like the hose here that can get overextended, the cord also can get overextended, right? So if you're really at the edge of the cord and it's starting to pull and bend, you could also, like you said, increase the chance for electrical short and danger. We also have to talk about clogs. Pretty common to get your vacuum cleaner clogged. And on this particular unit, what will often happen is the red indicator light will go on at the base of the vacuum cleaner head. And you'll probably also notice you're not getting any suction from your wand.
Right.
So if you see that happening, it's most likely a clog. First thing. So we've equipped you with a little clog remover tool that we have kept inside where your bag is located. And that is this little guy.
Nice.
This is more commonly known as a drain unclogger for a clogged sink, but it can work effectively for a clogged vacuum cleaner as well. So you don't have to call a manager necessarily. When you have one of these, you could try it yourself. I'm going to show you some quick tips for how to clean a clog. You can go from the bottom or from the top. I like to start at the bottom because I think most of the clogs tend to happen in the bend at the bottom.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is set your vacuum cleaner down like this. Bring it in the open position like this. Take your declogger, put it through with brushes, and you'll see a hole back there where this bend elbow goes, this coiled piece. And basically just fish it in there and slightly turn this plastic unclogger, and you'll catch the clog, and then you can just pull it straight out. This unit's not clogged right now, fortunately. But this will be on board in your container where the bag is kept for the gray vacuum cleaners. The other way to do it, Penny, is they can also pull the nozzle out and try to get the clog this way through the hole where the nozzle's housed.
Where it sits. There you
And it's got a nice little handle on it, so you won't drop it down in place like that. And you'll put it back inside here when you're finished. Just kind of coil it up so it kind of sit like that in the housing.
Absolutely.
So we're going to put the gray Pro Team aside for now.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about the NSS Pacer. A little more complicated from a bag standpoint.
It is.
But like everything else, some things, life's a series of trade-offs. So some things are better about this that folks like than that, and vice versa. So we'll start off with the bag. To change the bag on the NSS, there's a green sort of lever here. You just pull on that, and the top cover comes off. Now this bag looks a lot different than the green one we saw in the Pro Team. And to change this bag, locate the little green lever on the side, pull it up, slide your bag out. To put it in with a new bag, and could you hold
I'll
that,
hold
please?
that.
Kind of uncoil a little bit, kind of open the bag up just a bit, kind of poof it up. And it's going to slide in, right over here, to these areas right here. And there's a spring-loaded connection for it. So the back of this cardboard is going to hit a spring, and you have to put a little pressure on it to get your lever back down. So bring your cardboard up, find the slot, push in, and then push down on the green lever, and this will come up and lock it in place. Just kind of position your bag in there like that, and put your cover back on.
Right behind you.
Thank you. We'll also keep the same tool that we saw before housed in here as well, probably behind your bag, so you'll always know it's in there if you need it. And then you just close it like that.
Nice.
With the wand, it operates very much like it does with the Pro Team Gray vacuum cleaner. There's a harness or a holster for it. You pull it out, and you can use it to get into your crevices and whatnot. And same as we said before, be careful not to overextend it. And also, by the way, if there's a clog in here, if you've already checked elsewhere, you could also use that to go into here and try to find a clog. And you could disassemble this by just simply turning it and pulling it out. Check for clogs, run your wand down here, put it back in, it locks in place and turns.
Wonderful.
Put it right back into the holster, align it properly so that the pointed edge goes down, and it'll lock in place for you. Same thing with the cord as you saw in the gray one, perhaps a little bit different harness or holster connection for it, but same principle. Make sure your cord is stretched out before you wind it back in. Make sure it's unplugged from the actual plug itself where you pull it out of the wall, and coil it back up with a little bit of a dance in the cord to get those kinks and winds out. To clean this the same way. You push down on the green button to bring the machine down like this. Find that center section again where this one is off to the side, but it's a similar principle. There's a hole there where the suction takes place, and you'll see the coiled hose there, and you can fish through here to find your clog. If you can't find it there, you can go in this way like you did with the gray one and fish down here and find it, or like I said, find it perhaps in a hose. There are also, just to note, and this is something you might want to think about looking at or might not if you're not sure you want to deal with it, but these do have filters. So if you look back over here, part of the routine maintenance on these is to clean these filters. They come out, they're cleanable. They can be washed and dried. I usually take care of this for you, but if you happen to see this looking really bad, let me know. Put the vacuum cleaner by the check-in table where your timesheets are with a note for me. Hey, I think my filter is clogged. Check it over. And then I'll fix it for you and put it back together. It just kind of slides back in.
I think we see more filter issues during the winter months when the bags tend to get full of rock salt.
Oh, yeah.
And they try to lift the bag out of the vacuum cleaner, and the bag might split, and then the dirt falls down onto the filters. That's when it will be your responsibility to take that filter out and kind of tap it out.
Yeah.
Put a
This
new
is
bag
the filter
in.
you're talking about, Penny, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, this sits at the bottom of the gray vac. That one's the... Yeah, so if you're right, if your bag were to break, this protects the motor. So if this is not in place, the motor could be damaged when debris falls in there. So yes, this could be taken out and washed.
Yep.
I could take care of that for you. So
Or
if
just
that
tap
happens,
it,
or tap it,
right?
yeah, you could
Mhm.
take it outside and smack it against the concrete or something to take the dust out if it's a real problem for you. Yep. Set that back in. So we've covered how to replace the bags and the two types of vacuum you use, how to use the cords properly and safely to make sure they're coiled properly, how to remove clogs using the little tool we give you if you have a clog, and how to do a reset. Now, the black vacuum cleaner does not have a reset. It automatically will reset by itself. But if you do clear a clog on your Protein vacuum cleaner, you might have to click the reset button to get it squared away again to start up. And that could just take using a pen or maybe a key and just pushing on that little red reset button, and that will reset everything and allow you to start up again.
Wonderful.
And also we talked about not overextending the hose for the vacuum suction itself and where the filters are located. We thank you for taking the time to view this video. I hope this will help you have a more enjoyable experience with your vacuum. And again, if you do have problems with your vacuum cleaner and you can't get someone to service it for you, or you want to drop it off to have something fixed on it, please leave a sticky note on the vacuum cleaner and put the vacuum cleaner by the table where you sign in at the shop, and I'll see it and fix it for you and contact you, and or put it back where your nameplate is on the wall. Thank you for viewing. Have a great rest of your day.